Hey everybody, it's Dubrix here. Just wanted to show you guys some modifications that you can make to your 2025 Lego U-Wing if you're still kind of on the fence about whether it's better or worse than the 2015 one. I do still love the 2015 one, however, I sacrificed mine to the bin to use most of the parts for it to kind of make this best of both worlds, in my opinion, U-Wing. So what's great about this one is it does have sliding doors. I'm gonna give you guys a little pause it here if you want to look at the assembly on how it was done. I used a couple pieces from the old U-Wing, used some jumpers, and some of those Technic pins. You'll need a couple of those. They're those studded Technic pins. You'll need 6 of those in order to mount onto these jumper pins or jumper plates. I guess you don't really need that one on the end, but it's there anyways. And that's the assembly for the wing, and the doors. And just to show you guys that it does in fact work, you can slide it like so. In order to do this, you've got to do a couple different mods though. So I totally pulled out the floor and I replaced the floor of it with a 2x8, or sorry, a 4x8 and a 2x4 to give some more space. You have to get rid of those 1x1s with the clips that are up in the corners of your doors. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get a flush fit, and then they're going to get in the way of the arm as it swings. Another one that you're going to have to do, it's really easy. It only requires 4 1x4 plates to do this. You're going to need to make room for that door, and you do that by just picking up this kind of assembly here, this little arched assembly that mounts the engines to the wing, and shifting it over one stud. And then those 1x4s are going to wedge in between there and there to give you a good connection between top and bottom. And this is going to kind of widen your U-Wing's engines, which is more accurate in my opinion. And so, yeah, that's really what you got to do in order to get those sliding doors. There's probably a more efficient way to do it, but with the pieces that I had and just kind of reusing those pieces from the old U-Wing, that's kind of the way I conjured up doing it. I also just took the time to widen the wings a stud. So I was just picking up the tiles, moving them over, picking up the tiles, moving them over, picking up the tiles, moving them over, and filling in the tiles along here. You have to shift around some of these wedge plates in order to get the slope correct, but I was able to do it using just the parts that were included in the set. And I think 1 or 2 tiles probably from the old U-Wing or from my collection, just for, some cosmetic colors and stuff. Wish I had another white one of those, but the reason that this is kind of raised in this area is because if you don't do this, and you push it out, you're gonna not be able to clear the ball joint clip. So you have to kind of raise it to go over the clip, if that makes sense. Otherwise, if you were to try to swing that wing around, it wouldn't be able to clip into there. So it's a little bummer, I guess, but if you maybe take your time more than I did, you might be able to get a better shape going on here. But, for 2 hours of labor here, not too shabby. I also added some slopes in here because, I don't know, I felt like the slopes going the whole way looked much better than kind of the slopes, the flat, and then I think a slope there it was. I also added the old U-Wings, kind of, I don't know, it's like a carburetor off of a car sort of thing. I don't know, I like the way it looked on the old U-Wing with the Wolverine claws, or not the Wolverine claws, the Prince of Persia claws, so transferred that over to this model. It was really easy, just picked it up or picked the old rings off and put the new one on there. I also raised this tile. I don't know why it was really lowered in there. Just added a 1x4 underneath there to raise it and make it flush with the rest of the body. But yeah, 2 hours and using 95% pieces from the old U-Wing. You get a pretty cool U-Wing. Sure, you're losing a whole ship, but as somebody who finds himself having to compromise for space a lot, not being able to display both, and also kind of not wanting to display both. It's a pretty cool model. But yeah, just some quick tips if you guys would like some more in-depth videos on how to how to make these doors and how to install them. Let me know, but I definitely just wanted to show you guys kind of what I was able to do with mine, because it's super cool, and that was one of the biggest turnoffs for me with the new U-Wing. But as you can see, it's totally flush and it's totally accurate to the show and the movie. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in future uploads.